Welcome to Dear Grandchildren, a Tracker's Tales, where we weave ancestral wisdom with modern insights to help us thrive in today's world. I'm Michael Douglas, your guide on this journey of connection, discovery. Today we're exploring how nature immersion, guided by ancestral skills like survival, animal tracking, foraging, and storytelling, can cultivate profound wellness for the body, mind, and soul. So pull up by the fire and let us dive in. Have you ever imagined you're walking through a forest? The air is crisp and your footsteps crunch ever so softly on the trail. Your eyes scan the canopy above while your ears tune in beyond the bird song to the silences in all directions 3 miles out. To keep your brain busy and your awareness sharp, you listen not only for those quiet places, their distance, their size, their shape, their direction of travel, if there is one. In moments like these, something incredible happens to your brain. Research in modern psychology and neuroscience reveals that spending time in nature reduces cortisol levels, the stress hormone. A Stanford study even found that nature walks decrease activity in the part of the brain linked to rumination. It's that thought monkey that spirals us into negative thoughts or dwells on a past that can't be changed. Nature immersion activates our parasympathetic nervous system, the one responsible for rest and digestion, allowing us to recharge and heal. The act of vacating or vacation, holiday, getting away from it all, we tend to head towards the mountains, the streams, the shore. We want to explore and allow our childlike self to come back out because we need it. It is a primal pre-programming of wellness to interact in a dynamic landscape in a healthy manner. But it's not just about being in nature. It's about how we engage with it. Ancestral skills like tracking, foraging, and survival go beyond the practical know-how, and that alone is empowering enough to be able to provide your life-sustaining systems toward a baseline of comfort and deep nature connection. But that's it. These tools are also for mindfulness, connection, and resilience. Take tracking, for example. When you follow the trail of an animal, you enter a state of heightened awareness, which some would call soft focus. We call it owl eyes or wide-angle vision. Your brain's prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for decision-making, becomes more active as you analyze the story of the tracks. But paradoxically, it's balanced by the calming effect of being present and fully engaged with your senses. This dual engagement sharpens focus and alleviates stress. Similarly, foraging for wild foods, like June berries or mushrooms, connects us to seasonal rhythms. Combine tracking with foraging and it dawns on you almost immediately. You now are also being pushed and pulled by the landscape like all of the other animals on it. The deer, the chipmunk, the snowshoe hare. Modern studies show that learning and practicing such hands-on skills stimulates dopamine release, which boosts motivation and happiness. Almost 40 years I've been sharing and learning these skills, and I've seen how the effect this has on people is life-changing. It's more than watching a student light up when they learn to identify a plant and use it as a food or a medicine successfully for the first time. You get that also with your first bow drill fire, your first bird language success. But when you get the sense that you can control and empower the rewiring and reprogramming of your own mind towards what you desire, what you want to grow into, and it actually starts to change physically for you, I don't know if there's a more powerful moment. I often tell people on the 5-day courses and more as we share these skills around the world, write to your future self a promise that you will not change your relationship status or your occupation for at least a month after you go home. Because the tools that we're sharing are already in you. They're the parts that didn't fit the institution's need for control and consistency, behavioral management. There's a wild part of you that is just as viable and useful, and maybe even more so in today's world as it ever was. It's the genetic code that compelled you to build forts and pretend to be animals and play hunter games and like hide and seek or tag. It's still in there, and it's there for an important use, an important role. Through storytelling and mentorship, practices deeply rooted in human tradition, in ancestral skill cultures, stories weren't just entertainment. They were tools for teaching survival, ethics, connection, powerful lessons learned that day through amped adrenaline releases. And as you retell your own story, you further map your behaviors in your mind. Neuroscience tells us that stories activate multiple regions of the brain, not just language centers, but areas associated with sensory experiences and emotions. When you're telling a story, you're reliving it. And then the lessons of that experience start to come through with greater clarity as you share it with your community. This is just one of the many tools our ancestors passed down to us. And so with mentorship, which plays a vital role in wellness, we even use ancestral mentorship techniques. And I can't help but be in awe of the effect they have on almost everybody who comes through here. Because you own it. It's your tool and you use it as you want it. It's not telling you what to believe or who to become. It's giving you the tools to clarify who you are and where you want to be with it, what you want to do with this precious life. Just remember, folks, wellness isn't a destination. It's a practice, a journey. Much like walking a forest trail, each step deepens your connection to yourself, to others, and to the earth. And with each step, you carry forward the wisdom of those who walked before us. So I hope you enjoy this very first episode of a long and promising series. Dear grandchildren, a tracker's tales. Together, we're keeping the flame of ancestral wisdom alive. And in the process, finding our own voice, tending our own fire, and moving forward with a clarity and a purpose that makes life fun again. Until next time, may your trails be clear and your heart be full. Take care.